Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again it is Sunday, and that means it's time for the Texas Gun Vault Poll Question of the Week, a weekly vlog that I put out where I ask you as my viewers and subscribers about something that deals with firearms, gun culture, current events, news, maybe something EDC, who knows, that I want to get your thoughts and opinions on. This week's question is a little bit lighthearted and hopefully can relate to everyone, because I know we've all been to the public ranges and we know that there's certain personalities that just tend to be there. People doing idiotic things. Maybe they're being safe, they're just annoying. And I guess this question deals with the more annoying aspects of these personalities. And I want to get your thoughts on which one is the worst. Alright, so as I mentioned, hopefully this is a question that we can all relate to. You guys know I go to the range all the time, and I have mentioned that when I go to the range, it's not always fun and games. I don't really get to go to the range and enjoy it all that much, because the little time I have to go to the range, well, I gotta get something on camera. I gotta film something for a range report because I got so many guns to review. It's kind of a curse and a blessing. But when I'm there, I'm in work mode. I'm there to get my job done, but I know that other people are there to have fun. So I have to let some of the annoyances that bother me go. When I go to the range and I see a bunch of people there having fun, they're loud, I totally get it. I have to try to do my best, film between them, making a whole bunch of commotion, and stick to what I'm doing. But sometimes when I'm there, there's just those personalities that annoy me. I know, maybe I'm a bad person, but I get there and there's some people that just rub me the wrong way. I'm not there to interact with people. I might have only 30 minutes to film the footage for a range report, and I need to get it done. I don't have the time to chit chat. I don't have the time to wait. I don't need any stupidity. I am there to do a job and get out. I know some of you probably just want to go to the range and have fun, and we get these annoying people that won't leave us alone, or maybe they're just simply obnoxious. But which of these personalities bothers you the most? And that's what I'm asking you. So let's dive right into this week's question. When I go to the range to film content, often there are other people there enjoying the 2A hobby. However, sometimes there are people that can cause my range experience to be less than enjoyable or distract me. I find these types often fall into certain categories. When you go to the range, which of these types annoy you the most? Now remember, YouTube only allows me to have 5 choices. I could probably put 6, 7, or 8 on this, so that's why the last one is something else explained in the comments. The first 4 are just the ones that probably annoy me the most and the ones I see the most often. So let's see what you guys had to say with this week's results. With only 844 votes this week as I'm filming this, we have Mr. Know-It-All, always showing off and tells everyone how to do it, 45%. Mr. Loudgun, shoots his 7-inch 308 SBR inside and all the time, 23%. Mr. Mag Dump, has unlimited ammo and just rapid fires all the time, 10%. Mr. Tactical, looks like a member of SWAT but has nowhere to go, 13%, and something else, explain in the comments, 8%. So it looks like the overwhelming majority of the people don't like Mr. Know-It-All, and I can tell you I know a few of these guys. But here's the truth about the Mr. Know-It-Alls. Usually they mean well. They just want to talk guns. It's the water cooler talk, or maybe they just got a really cool gun, or they watch a bunch of YouTube videos and they want to show you everything that they know. They're not trying to bother you. They're not trying to get in your way. They think you're as passionate about whatever they are passionate about as well. So I can kind of forgive them. But man, when I'm there to film and I'm there to do a range report, don't bother me, don't talk to me, and don't tell me how to shoot. Don't tell me something about the gun that I'm reviewing. I probably already know a little bit more about it than you do. And there you go. Maybe I'm sounding like a little bit of a know-it-all. But when I go to the range, I stick to myself. My wife and I are there, and we're just there for business. I don't like to bother other people unless I see something that is unsafe. I'm not going to talk to you. I'm very introverted, and I'm there to do a job. So let's go through each one of these, and I'll tell you my personal thoughts and opinions. And we have Mr. Know-It-All, always showing off and tells everyone how to do it with the majority of the votes. As I mentioned, I think these guys are just good-natured. They want to do well, but they can be annoying. I think actually their biggest personality flaw is they can't read the emotions of other people and go, man, they're annoyed with me. They're not really talking to me. They're being very short in everything that they say to me. Maybe I should just let them go. Or in my case, maybe people could see, hey, he's trying to film. His wife's holding this camera. He's talking to it. He's making notes. Maybe I should leave him alone. But often, even when I'm left alone, these guys are talking as loud as they possibly can to everyone else in every other stall. It gets so annoying. And of course, they're going to have those earmuffs on that block out a lot of the sound, and they're talking like this the whole time. So even though I'm trying to do a range report, they're virtually yelling. And so it just gets in the way, and I can't often use all that footage because they're talking about stupid stuff. Anyway, those are the ones that probably bother me the most too. Then we have Mr. Loudgun, shoots his 7-inch 308 SBR inside and all the time. Now don't get me wrong, I know that not everybody has access to an outdoor range, and I got a few short-barreled rifles and really loud guns, and when I take them to the range, I try to go at times when there's fewer people there or no one else there. You guys know I'm a VIP member of the Frisco Gun Club, and I have 24/7 biometric access to the VIP lanes. And so when I know I'm going there to shoot some type of footage for a test for a company in a private video, I probably go when no one else is there, 9 or 10 o'clock at night. If I know I'm going to be going and shooting some really loud, obnoxious gun, well, I don't want to bother anybody else. Now, I know not everybody has that opportunity, but when I do go and there are other people there, I'm going to shoot this gun very sparingly. I might even go to the people in the stall next to me or in the same range and go, hey, I'm about to shoot this gun. I want to make you aware of it. I'm not going to shoot it a bunch. This is what to expect. Is it okay? You know, and normally if you just give them that common courtesy, they don't mind at all. They might even be fascinated by it. But if they're there having a good time, let's say they're introducing somebody to firearms and you come in with this crazy loud 308 SBR at 7 inches and you're just shooting flames everywhere, well, it can kind of scare off people that are new to guns, and you're not helping the Second Amendment. And sometimes I'm there to film and I got this guy, and for some reason I am always stuck in the lane next to them. I'm trying to shoot and I can feel the concussion of this crazy powerful rifle, and they just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. And it's just like, come on, you've got to run out of this ammo at some point. I mean, this ammo is so expensive. Oh my gosh, you're loading up more mags. It happens to all of us. Then we got Mr. Mag Dump, has unlimited ammo and just rapid fires all the time. This is the kind of personality that actually inspired me to make this poll. I was at the range filming some footage and this happened. XDS 3.345, only 5 rounds, 1 bag. And that's just one clip. Let me tell you, it was over and over and over again. He had magazines piled up and he would go through them all. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, he literally just blew 300 or 350 rounds through these 4 or 5 guns. He has got to be done. Oh no. He's getting out a whole nother case of 9mm and he's loading these mags back up. Oh my God, how much did he bring? And he'll go through all of that and shoot more. And what's kind of sad to me is he's just kind of shooting indiscriminately. It's not like he's there to work on some type of technique or to make sure his guns are functioning. He's just pointing at the target and shooting as much as he possibly can. Now, I support his right to do so. I think it's great. You're there, you're using ammo, you're using guns, you're supporting the Second Amendment, but it doesn't mean you're not annoying. And what bothers me the most is they see that I'm trying to shoot. And when I'm shooting these little clips for these range reports, they only take about 30 seconds, maybe 45 or a minute. That's it. And I kind of look at them, they see what I'm doing. But yet as soon as the camera comes on, they gotta start shooting. And then I gotta wait. Yeah, anyway. That one annoyed me and why I made this poll. Then we have Mr. Tactical. Looks like a member of SWAT but has nowhere to go. Now I know these guys are typically the tacticians, or maybe they're even the competitive shooters. They go to the range to practice and they're all geared up. They have all this kit on them and good on them. I'm just an average gun guy. I know those people look down on me. In fact, I know somebody in my personal life who is a world-class competition shooter. And from the conversations I've had with them, I can tell they don't really think of much of what I do. In fact, in a conversation, they told me, "Oh, you're just one of those online 2A advocates." And they kind of said it in a very disparaging way. Pretty much a lot of times I find that the tacticians, you guys know the tactical bearded guys with all the kit and the armor plates, or the competitive shooters, they kind of look down on us average shooters or just collectors because you're not using the firearms the same way. Well, I support them as much as I hope they would support me. I'm going to go to bat for them. I want everything in their hobby to be completely legal and as easy for them to accomplish as much as I want them to support my hobby of collecting and just learning about guns. It can kind of go both ways. We're all in this together, but sometimes they show up and man, it's like, why are you wearing that much kit? Why are you wearing armor plates to the range? Are you planning on getting into a firefight here? Now, when I have talked to these guys, a lot of times they say they just want to be kitted up because when they go out and either compete or if they ever have a end of the world scenario, well, that's how they say they're going to dress. And that's fine. I support them if they want to role play this kind of crazy tactician game. That's fine. I support it. But man, is that kind of annoying at the range. Here I am just in a t-shirt and jeans, and this other guy comes in with tactical pants, a vest, plate carriers, mag pouches, you name it. Flashlights, knives, everything. And it's just like, you look like a fool. Now, as I said, if you're one of those people, I'm not calling you a fool. There's a time and place for everything. But really, at 8:30 at night, at a private range, well, come on. Then we got something else explained in the comments. And going through the comments, it really seemed like most of the people that voted for this were talking about the people that were not very safe with firearms, which I completely agree. And I kind of should have talked about that in the initial question, saying these personalities, I'm not saying that they're unsafe. These are just the annoying personalities more than anything else. But that's my thoughts on these personality types. Let's see what you guys have to say with the top rated comments of the week. And with the top rated comment of the week, we have Nimrod, who says, unsafe firearm handling is still my #1 pet peeve. I tend to see these guys in groups that do not take criticism well, and it just makes me leave. You know, I did a poll question of the week quite a long time ago about this, and I said, what do you do when this happens? Do you intervene? Do you just let them do their thing? Do you wait? What happens? And I pretty much said, for the most part, if I feel it's a scenario where I can intervene, I will. I might say something, but for the most part, I will leave and come back at another time. I've actually done that a number of times when there's these inexperienced shooters. They might be sweeping everybody in the stalls. I'm like, I'm done with this. You guys have no idea what you're doing. You're having a grand old time. So me coming in and being safety Sally is not going to benefit this situation. I'm going to pack up my stuff and leave, and I'm going to come back hopefully after the ambulance has come and taken your dead body and gone to the hospital. No, I actually don't want anybody to be hurt. But I will leave because my safety and my wife's safety is paramount and comes first. So I understand where Nimrod is coming from. Then we have Wild Bill, who says, while I was an avid shooter for 38 years, I have not been to a range in 2 years. I've shot a few times at a friend's place in the past couple years. I mainly don't like the reckless people at the range, but I also don't like the range Nazis who go out of their way to discipline a safe shooter, while allowing the reckless ones to carry on. You know, this is another thing I've talked about in a previous question of the week, and it has to do with those RSOs, those range safety officers. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a Nazi, and he's right. You shoot once every 2 seconds, and they're like, well, that was like 1.5 seconds. You got to slow down, and they're coming over there. I get it. I'm not trying to be unsafe, but it all really kind of depends on the range. And I think that before you become a member at a range, if it's a range where they do offer memberships, we'll go and shoot there a few times. Get the lay of the land, kind of look at their policies. Now, of course, most ranges are going to have a lot of policies. It just kind of depends on how they enforce them. And it also depends on the clientele at that range. Ranges that might be in more pro-Second Amendment areas might have generally people that are more knowledgeable and safer with firearms than maybe ranges that would be in more urban areas where gun ownership is more stringent or more rare. Those people will probably be more inexperienced. So go check out a range, see what the rules are, kind of be there a few times, see how they enforce it, and kind of make your decision if you want to be a member there or shoot there. There are many other options if you're not happy with your home range. Then we have Fearless Leader. I'm with the others who state that unsafe firearm usage is their number one. I can get beyond everything else, but when someone accidentally flashes me with their muzzle, my blood boils. Well, I completely agree, and maybe this is my fault for not specifying this in the question. I was trying to say, all else things, everyone being safe at the range. These are the personality types that annoy me. Of course, being unsafe is probably the number one, but I will tell you, I have seen the know-it-alls be very safe. I've seen Mr. Loudgun be very safe. Even Mr. Mag Dump is very safe. All of his weapons are clear and the actions are open when he's not shooting them. All weapons are pointed down range. They're not pointing them at anybody. He obviously knows how to safely handle firearms. So I'm not worried about my personal safety. They're showing respect for others and respect for the firearms that they're handling. They're just annoying. And that's kind of what I was going with this week's question. Then we have JareDog3, who said, great list. I only have 2 people at the range that bother me, and I've had to leave for both at times. Unsafe people and range employees with terrible attitudes. All the other stuff you mentioned I find funny. I love listening to the Mr. Know-It-All explain things and being incorrect. I can't wait to tell my friend about it after. I live in California, so unfortunately I will never be next to a guy shooting an SBR. Mag Dump guy, good for him. I can't afford it, but wish I could. Tactical guy, again, I can't wait to talk to my buddy about those guys. Well, I'm glad you liked the list and once again talked about the unsafe people. You are a better person than me because my personality type, I get annoyed very quickly. My kids and my wife call it my inefficiency meter. When I am trying to do a job and things are getting in the way, I have this little thing inside me that just builds up and I become super focused because all I want to do is accomplish the task and get on with my day. And these people annoy me because they prevent me from getting the range footage I need so I can go home, sit here in the garage, review the gun, and edit it. I just have to calm down. All right, they don't bother me anymore. It's not like I get really upset, it's just annoying. And then finally, we have Charles Parr, who says, I'm a huge 2A guy, all about being safe and shooting well. How I hold my weapon may not be textbook, but it works great for me. Don't tell me I'm holding my firearm wrong when I hit my target better than you. So obviously, he doesn't like Mr. Know-It-All either. And I know not all of us are competitive shooters. Not all of us are striving for the bullseye every time. Some of us are just there to have fun. Some of us are just there to shoot cool and collectible firearms. Of course, we all want to be as accurate as possible. And for myself, I'm not always as familiar or comfortable with every gun that I shoot. And there might be someone there that's an expert revolver shooter. Well, I think I'm pretty competent with revolvers, and I know that I'm mainly a semi-auto guy. But don't come over and correct me, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. I'm going to adhere to all of the other safety rules, and you know it. So there you go, the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. What type of range personalities annoy you the most? A lot of you guys said Mr. Unsafe, but that wasn't an option. Well, I guess it was under the something else, but I was hoping you would talk more about the Mr. Know-It-All and the Mr. Mag Dumps. Those are the ones that bother me the most. But all else being equal, I was assuming all those personality types were being fair and you knew what I was saying. But once again, I wasn't clear. But I do agree with you. Those people that are unsafe are the worst. So that is the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. If you would like to participate in next week's poll, please go to the community tab of my YouTube channel. I will link to it in the description. Go over there, see what the question is, vote, comment, and like other people's comments so we can get the top rated comment of the week. I love making these all the time and interacting with you. So I can't wait to see your responses in the comment section below. So as always, thanks for watching.